Okay, so our site is done in terms of creating a template and creating all the pages from that template. Now we just need to add our content in, and we can do a couple other things to make it stand out. So the first thing I want to talk about is how to add Google Fonts to your site so that you can have custom fonts for headings and text and whatnot, so you're not stuck with the limited amount that's on every computer. So right now I have Impact for my heading, but I want to do something that is just a little bit more stylish, makes more sense for a tourism website. So I'll go to Google Fonts, and you can Google Google Fonts and it'll bring it up. And you can choose different filters so you can sort through all of these different fonts. You can base it on if you're going to do one word, if you're going to do a sentence, if you're going to do a paragraph, because some fonts look great in paragraphs and some fonts are really hard to read in paragraphs. So this is where we want to come and choose a paragraph font. And if we want a heading font, we're going to go to Poster. So I've already kind of looked through these, and I love Lobster font, but I kind of overdo it on that one. So I can come down here, and I like Pacifico for the travel website, Dancing Script. I like Quicksand, but I think I just like it because I really like the Q. So we're just going to do Pacifico for now. So I can click on this, and I can click Pop Out, and that's going to allow me to see that font in headings and also what it would look like in paragraphs, and it looks terrible in paragraphs, so I wouldn't use it for that. And then it's actually showing all the different glyphs in this type, and if it's missing something, then you'll know so that you won't download this font. So I think I do like this font. I can add it to my collection, and it's going to go down here to this collection. But for right now, I know this is what I want, so I'm going to click on this Quick Use button, and it's going to tell me how long it would take a normal user to download this font or to show this font on their page. And it's pretty minimal, so, and this is the only kind of custom font I'm going to use right now. So let me just try this. It says choose the character sets you want. Right now it only gives us the Latin option. If there's other ones here for other languages or other character sets, you can definitely check those if you need those, if you're going to have a lot of different people from all over the world looking at your site. So basically what it's saying is to embed your collection into your webpage, copy the code as the first element in the head of your HTML document. So we're going to copy all of this, Command C or Control C on a PC, and I'll go back into my website, and this one I'm going to need to open the template. So I'll close everything else and open the template, and I'm going to go into the code, and I'm going to look for that opening head tag. So it should be the very first thing we see in the head tag. So I'm going to create a space there and then paste that link. Alright, so let's see what else we do. As we come down, it's going to say integrate the fonts into your CSS. So it's saying that we need to put this in our CSS. This is the property and this is the value. I want it specifically for my heading 1, so I'm going to add it there. So I'll copy this property and value, and I'm going to come in and look at the CSS for my site right now. And right now, again, my font family is Impact and Hottenschweiler. I can never say that. And then if it doesn't have that, then Franklin Gothic Bold. If it doesn't have that, Arial Black. So we're going to go ahead and delete this font family and type Command V. And so now it's going to give Pacifico, and it put little quote marks, or what is it, apostrophe marks around it, just because if this had 2 words, they need to be in the apostrophe marks, and also because it's kind of a font with a specific name, so they always put it in quotes or apostrophe marks. So we're going to leave it as is, go to design, and we don't really see anything happening here, but let's preview this in the browser. So again, it's saying web fonts are not rendered in design view, please switch to live view, but we're going to just actually view it in the browser to see what happens. So now as we go down, my heading 1 is now that Pacifico font. So I can come in and change my heading 2 to be a certain font, have all my paragraphs be a unique custom font rather than Arial or Helvetica or Gotham or whatever I have here. So that is the basics of adding Google Fonts to your website. You have to do the link in the head tag of your code, and then you have to add this property and value to whatever it is, the H1 or the P tag or the H2 or the H3. You need to add that property and value to it and make sure that no other property or value competes with it. So again, I can come back here to Google Fonts and I can go to paragraph, and maybe I want to look through here to see if I can find a different font for my paragraphs and make it look even more custom. So that's how to use Google Fonts on your website. Sometimes it works great, sometimes you might run into a little trouble, but they have a lot of good help for you on this website. It's not the only way you can add web fonts to your web page. You can use Typekit from Adobe, but this is one that's available to all and free.